I've been really involved in personal development for quite some time, probably 10 years. And I joined my first men's group in 2018. And that was an incredible experience. It actually matured me very, very quickly, being around guys quite older than me. And that really set me off on my growth path. And when I came across Alan's stuff, I didn't really know what I'd be getting into. But when I had the call with him, we were just connecting. There was something about his energy and his demeanor that really stuck out to me. And I thought about maybe working with him one-on-one, and I heard about his program and what he's putting people through. And I honestly had reservations around it. I wasn't looking to be a part of a group or anything like that. I was literally just trying to go on my growth journey and see what he could ultimately teach me. But little did I know how much of like a journey the last 9 weeks would have unfolded to be. So I've been into this stuff for a while, but this is completely different than any other sort of men's group or work that I've been a part of in the past. Before, I was living really well. I was doing very much of the things that I wanted. I was traveling the world. I was doing well in my sales/business. And I knew that there was a cap. There was a cap that I just wasn't pushing through. And that's really frustrating to know that you're capable of more, but I wasn't able to bring it out of myself. I just thought I was doing all the right things. I went to the gym. I take care of myself. I eat healthy. I work really hard. I did all the right things, but I didn't really feel connected to my deeper purpose. And here's the thing, Alan's just giving a platform to be able to help people discover that about themselves. It's not like he's coming in and changing your life. Like I would very much say that he is a huge factor in that because he saw things in me that I didn't see. And he's just removing the BS blinders, right? The things that are holding us back. And it feels really good to go through life with that much less blinders, right? And there's more to unpack, but I just feel extremely grateful that I can see clearer now. That's like the best way I can describe it. The biggest thing I noticed is within the first day of not knowing anybody to the end, feeling like these guys are my bros, like they're my people. That sense of community was very unexpected. I'm really good in groups. I try to contribute. I try to help. And I got that energy, like when everybody's being pushed and everybody's being held accountable, when everybody's on that path, everybody was focused and everybody was supportive and everybody's giving you validation where it's warranted, not just pumping up your tires for no reason. It's like boot camp, you're going through training together. So on the other side of that, pressure forms diamonds. And I feel like every single person had their own journey and got like what they needed out of it. So that was the biggest surprise, was the community aspect. The biggest thing is I've always been like a pretty friendly person, like people's person. I get energy from being around people. So making friends and creating new friends, I love that. I really do. I think there's different levels to friendship. Like everybody builds a certain purpose. But I think what I've noticed over this program is like quality over quantity, right? And there's friends out there that you can have for different purposes. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's friends that have fun and do social events. There's business friends, like people that you could network with and maybe mentors and stuff. But I think this is different. This is like a group of people willing to put themselves through a lot of pressure. And when you're doing that with other people, it's a beautiful thing. I think that's the difference between friends and tribes. I have friends that I love very deeply that I wouldn't jive with in this group. Like I feel like this community attracts certain people. And those are the people that I do want to surround myself on the mission that I'm on right now. So I think that's the biggest difference is we're all in different parts of the world, right? We're not going to hang out and get beers. That's not the dynamic of this companionship. It's more like, how are we going to push ourselves to our highest level to become the best possible evolved version of ourselves? That's the difference. And I have very strong, deep appreciation for these different areas of friendship. What was my biggest takeaway from the program? That I had so much clutter blocking me from potential. And a lot of that clutter comes from that inner voice And that inner voice, I thought I had dealt with it so well years ago, right? Through all the positive self-talk. But Alan helps you just rip it out. And don't get me wrong, it still comes up, but I'm aware of it a lot more. And I choose different actions that otherwise subconscious programming would have held me back. So I think the biggest thing is walking around with this voice in my head that not only did it get 50% less sadistic and mean, it's like when it does get me, I have like this other arsenal that is just propelling me through life with a different degree of confidence, positive self-talk, worthiness, and overall just like contentment. Like I just walk around now feeling a lot better than I did 3 months ago. And I already felt good. So I guess I didn't know how much better it could be. And I still don't know how much better it can be, but I'm more open to good things. What parts of me do I not recognize? The disempowered version of me that went through life, I haven't identified as a victim in a long time. The victim mindset, it's a very big turnoff for me. I can't associate with it. But there's areas of my life where I did feel still disempowered. And now that disempowerment, it'll still come up in areas that I'm not 100% dialed in on, but I'm just looking at them through a new way. I'm learning how to get help. I'm reaching out to the guys in the group. The disempowerment feeling of going through life like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? What if people laugh? And I don't identify with that fear as much. And you can't really put a price tag on that feeling. Like it's such a big difference. It's only been a few months, but walking around with that new level of belief and not identifying with the doubt, the fear, the anxiety, it's huge, an absolute game changer. Alan's like role model behavior. He's got this energy about him where all of a sudden the limiting beliefs, the governor, the things that hold us back, they cease to exist momentarily and he can just see past it, which in a coach, you need that. The coach needs to draw out your potential, your possibility, and it's always there, right? There's always opportunities for it. But for me, Alan's the guy who's going to look at you, diagnose your situation, and not just, this came up a lot, and not just tackle the symptoms of whatever you're dealing with, but uprooting it. The uprooting thing, that's a whole thing that I'm bringing in my conversations on a regular basis. Is this thing happening only because it's coming from this external source? No, there's something either attracting it, there's something bringing it in. So if you uproot that, you solve it, then you don't have to deal with the symptoms anymore. It's the cure versus the treatment. I have this newfound deeper appreciation for the feminine as a whole. I already did previously. I just feel like I have this new understanding, and I'm definitely not an expert. I'm going to mess up, whatever. But I just noticed that when I'm in my masculine energy, centered, grounded, not only do I get more attention from women in a positive way, I'm able to communicate better. I'm able to like hold my ground and just say this. I'm able to express emotions better and express interest. If I'm interested, instead of that voice in my head saying, oh, you know what, oh, she's cute, she's busy, you know, whatever. It's like you can go up and start a conversation. Just be friendly, say hello, let her know why you're there. Yeah, it's made the process of getting to know women and dating easier. It's interesting. Like when I started this, I've had an idea of what I want to do, of building people up from the inside out and helping them self-actualize, helping them become the best version of themselves, become stronger, better people. And I didn't have that quite within myself. I was very close. So I feel like when I stepped into this just gave me a little bit of a roadmap of how to uncover that myself. And I feel like I can now offer and extend this to other people. And I already have with several relationships in my life, strangers that I've met, that I can just pour into them and show them like what's possible for them the same way that this program offered me. And that's like the gift that keeps on giving. Because I know if I make a difference in this person's life, they're going to be much more inclined to do the same and pay that forward in the future. And I do think that ripple effect is part of my purpose, right? Helping people help other people by helping themselves first and foremost. So I just got clarity around that. I didn't have the same level of excitement 4 months ago. It was like, oh yeah, I can do what I'm doing now with my business, but I can also start tapping in and realizing the version of me where I can actually go out and do this immediately. Like I don't have to put it off like one day. One day is today. I think what helped me develop a better relationship with myself due to the program is the degree of self-love that gets increased. There's certain things that build self-love, things that build you up from within. And I was doing a lot of those things, prayer, meditation, working out, being healthy, but there was still like a little bit of a gap. So I feel like out of this program, it's really about just like keeping the promises to yourself and not letting yourself off the hook. And that's where the accountability of the crew comes in. And when you don't allow yourself to get off the hook, it's like you're forced to like push against your potential and learn new things about yourself and break patterns of the past. So that accountability to not just myself, but to Alan, to you guys, to the rest of the group, that was really, really profound. And I haven't had that level of it in a long time. And so in return, what I got out of that is like a newfound level of self-respect that I can get things done and know it, right? Like that knowingness is, and that's confidence. Confidence is the promises that you keep to yourself. I've heard that multiple times and now I get it. What would I say if someone's on the fence of joining the program? I was on the fence too. I like wanted to hop off the fence. The fence is a scary place. That's where decisions are made, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I talked to Alan a little bit before doing it. I was hesitant. That fear, that anxiety that I was talking about earlier, that can overpower you. But I can't imagine not doing this. I'd still be progressing, but I'd be on the slow track, not the fast track. And so what I can say to anybody on the fence is give yourself the gift of investing in yourself, investing in your growth, and investing in possibility for new experiences to come in your life. Because that's where magic happens. That's what I'm learning every time I do this stuff.